Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Siva gedola, liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot besimcha. Someone smile. The reason someone smile. The reason someone smile. The reason someone smiles. The reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot liot besimcha. Siva gedola, liot besimcha. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smile. Geb a schmeichel, geb a schmeichel, geb a schmeichel, geb a smile. Geb a schmeichel, geb a schmeichel, be the reason someone smile. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. 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 Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Someone smile. The reason someone smile. The reason someone smiles. Be 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 the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. 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 Siva gedola, lio besimcha.
Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechazarta bi nishmati b'chemla rabba emunatecha.
לקראת שבוס לכי ונאי לכו יהי לכוי רבלוכו מי דויש מקדם נסיכו סויף מעשה במחשבות חילו לכו דוידי לקראת קלות ונאי שבוס מקבלו לכו דוידי לקראת קלות ונאי שבוס מקבלו לכו דוידי לקראת קלות ונאי שבוס מקבלו לכו דוידי לקראת קלות ונאי שבוס מקבלו.
Da Laila, ay ay ay, good Shabbos. Ay da Laila, da Laila, ay ay ay, Shabbos Kodesh.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Elli. It is Friday, the second day of August, the 27th day of Tammuz. The Torah portion is a combined parsha of Matos-Masei, HaYom, Yom, Shishi, with Shabbos. Sixth day, counting up towards Shabbos, learning 6th and 7th Aliyahs. It is Shabbos MEVORCHIM, the month of MENACHEM Av. We are going to bless the new month of Av coming up. The MOLAD, the new moon, will birth at 1:53 a.m. with 11 chalakim on Monday. And Rosh Chodesh itself is on Monday. In New York City, you light Shabbos candles at 7:52. 7:52. And Shabbos will end at 8:54 Saturday night. 7:52 and 8:54. You can remember those numbers? If you can't, they're on the screen. All right? All right. Let us, men and boys, take our two front tzitzis and make a bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit.
All right, everyone together, al divrei Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al divrei Torah.
Fantastic, really is. Hareini Mekabel.
Hareini Mekabel alay mitzvat aseh Shel ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way.
All right, Torah tziva lanu.
Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha keilat Yaakov. Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha keilat Yaakov.
Thanksgiving tzedakah is up next.
I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki for someone else to keep. Yeah, I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki for someone else in need.
Thank you very much. And now it is time to say the Shema. Let's go.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shahakal niyeh b'devoroi Shakal niyeh b'dvoroi.
All right, fantastic. That takes us to breakfast. We like our breakfast. All right, here we have coffee and yogurt. Are you ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech HaYom shehakol nihiyah b'dvaroi.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup or two in the evening too. For me, it's the only way. Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Today in Jewish history. All right, let me get there. Bunch of stuff to tell you today. Hold on one second. Yeah, no, I'm just moving something. This doesn't belong there. Here we go. Belongs right here. All right. Are you ready? Candle lighting, 7:52. The third expulsion from France took place on this day in 1322, having been allowed back into France in 1315 after the expulsion in 1306. The Jews were once again expelled from France by Charles IV, who broke the pledge made by his predecessor in 1315 that the Jews would be able to stay in France for at least 12 years. Let's see. The Jews of Holstein, Germany, were granted equality on this day in 1893, and President Eisenhower ordered U.S. Marines to Lebanon at the request of that country's President Camille Chamoun in the face of a perceived threat by Muslim rebels. In 1958, Panem Rabists, with considerable support from Lebanon's Muslim community, attempted to overthrow him after he tried to illegally seek another term as president. All right. The first and only successful hijacking of an El Al aircraft heading from Rome to Israel took place when a Boeing 707 carrying 10 crew members and 38 passengers was taken over by the popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine in 1968. The terrorists diverted the plane to Algiers, and most of the passengers were released quickly. 7 crew members and 5 Israeli passengers were held for 5 weeks and released after 40 days of negotiations. All right. We have such a proud history. Thank you. Shabbat is the passing of the Yismach Moshe in 1841. Rabbi Moshe Teitelbaum of Uli, Hungary, the author of Yismach Moshe and patriarch of the Hungarian Hasidic dynasties of Satmar, etc., etc. It is also the yahrzeit of Rabbi Shlomo Ganzfried. Rabbi Ganzfried, who lived from 1804 to 1886, was born in Ungvar, in the Carpathian region of the Habsburg Empire, which is now the Ukraine. When he was 8 years old, his father, Rabbi Yosef, passed away, and the chief rabbi, Rabbi Tzvi Hirsch Heller, assumed legal guardianship of little Shlomo. In 1830, he abandoned his work as a wine merchant and accepted the position of rabbi of Brezovich. In 1849, he returned to Ungvar to serve as a rabbinical judge, realizing that the average Jew required a basic knowledge of practical Jewish law. Rabbi Ganzfried compiled the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, the abridged digest of Jewish law, and to this day it remains a classic halachic work and has been translated into many languages. He authored many other works as well. In addition, the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad, wrote a commentary on his Shulchan Aruch as well. All right, Shabbos is Shabbos MEVORCHIM, the Shabbos that blesses the new month. A special prayer is recited. Prior to the blessing, we announce the precise time of the molad, the birth of the new moon. Chabad custom is to recite the entire book of Tehillim, of Psalms, before the morning prayers, and to conduct a farbrengen, a gathering, singing songs and giving over divrei Torah, especially the laws of the 9 days, which we'll go into a little bit coming up. All right? We are going to be doing Pirkei Avos, Chapter 2, the Ethics of the Fathers, Chapter 2. And let's not forget that we are in the 3 weeks of mourning, just about to enter into the 9 days. And we'll talk about that in just a little while. All right, HaYom Yom for today.
היום הזה הוא זמן שמחתנו, שמע את התפילה שבליבנו, ותמחול את כל עוונותינו ביום הזה.
So earlier this week, I was having one of those days. I was driving my car around and it started making some very funny noises. So I went to the mechanic, who's a very nice guy. And he says to me, sure, I can fix, you give me $750 and I'll make the noise go away. Okay. But now the question becomes, and he needs, in addition to $750, he also needs some time, a good couple of hours of the day. Okay, so now what am I going to do? So as mentioned, he's a really nice guy. He says, here, I have this extra car sitting in the parking lot. You can take this car on loan until your car is ready. Okay. A couple of hours later, I'm sitting at my home. I get a call from the mechanic. Come pick up your car. It's ready. I get into the loaner car and try to start it. And now that car is not working. And this is one of those moments where you turn your eyes upwards and you say, Hashem, I know you love me, but what are you thinking? So this is when I remind myself of what a wise person once said. I don't want to believe in a God who I can always understand. Today's HaYom Yom is about the idea that there are parts of Hashem that we can and should understand, and there are parts of Hashem that we cannot. Says the HaYom Yom, when a person is studying Torah, he commits himself to understanding a concept, to understanding an idea from Hashem. That's what the study of Torah. When a person is praying to Hashem, he is committing himself to that which transcends understanding. While studying Torah, a Jew sits before Hashem like a student, like a disciple before his teacher. When a Jew is praying, he stands before Hashem like a son before a father. So, to be good Jews, we have to strive to understand that which is understandable. And when we encounter something that we cannot understand, we have to remain committed and remember that we are always in His loving hands.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Here's one for Shabbat.
It's a really frustrating experience when you put yourself out to do something good, to do something right, and then later you have to question, was it worth it? Did I have any impact? You know, sometimes I'll go and visit somebody in the hospital, and I walk out of the room a couple minutes later, still unsure whether the patient appreciated my visit at all. Or I'll be trying to teach somebody an idea and question, does this guy really understand what I'm saying? Or if he does understand, does he appreciate what I'm trying to teach him? Today's HaYom Yom points to the fact that every time you do something right, even if, it's wonderful if, you do a mitzvah and people say, thank you so much, I'm so appreciative of the fact that you've done this. But even if you don't have that luxury to see tangible results of the Torah that you study or the mitzvahs that you do, there is always positive influence. There is always positive impact. I mean, today we understand this idea. There could be something in the air which you don't see or feel, which can be very bad for you to breathe because it's in the atmosphere, it's in the environment. And the same holds true for something positive that you do. Every time you do something right, every time you do something good, every time you do something holy, there's positive impact on the atmosphere that the mitzvah was done in. Today's HaYom Yom contains a list of Maimorim, a list of Hasidic discourses that each of the Rebbes of Chabad would deliver on a regular basis, or 2 or 3 times a year. And these were Maimorim, these were discourses that they repeated. So someone silly sitting in the audience would say, oh, that discourse, I've heard that one before. But the intention of the Rebbe when he was delivering this discourse was not necessarily to teach a new idea. The intention was the delivery of this discourse is going to have positive influence on the atmosphere around us. So I'll just go through that list. A discourse that the first Rebbe of Chabad, that the Alter Rebbe would deliver for this purpose, is a discourse that begins with the words Heicholtzu. The second Rebbe of Chabad, the Mittler Rebbe, would deliver a maimer Yofa Sha'a Achas. The Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rebbe of Chabad, would deliver a maimer that begins with the words Ma Toivu. Again, each of these discourses were delivered for the express purpose of purifying the atmosphere. The fourth Rebbe of Chabad, the Rebbe Marash, Micha Moicha. The fifth Rebbe of Chabad, the Yadaita HaYom that he delivered in Moscow. So when you do a mitzvah, when you study Torah, we have to be cognizant of the fact that there's always positive influence. If people around you appreciate what you're doing, that's great. That's icing on the cake. But every time you do something good, you are making positive impact on the environment around you, and you're making a positive spiritual difference in the air that you and those around you are breathing.
All right, beautiful. And that takes us to a word from our sponsors. PestProRidall.com.
PestProRidall.com, trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidall.com.
Tarzan Group, micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzangroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565. And order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzangroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign@gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications. Logos, wall hangings, Judaica. And you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says Patreon.com. Contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention breakfast shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Helping lots of people any way we can. Tzedakah is the Jewish way to help your fellow man.
All right, here we go. Patreon.com/theactorsrabbi or breakfastwithelli.live/new-computer if you would like to contribute today to bringing Torah all around the world. Can't believe that it's so wonderful. All right. Finishing.
The
high priest atoned for the people as a whole, and when he died, his death atoned for the death of those who were accidentally killed. Maimonides, however, gives a completely different explanation in the Guide for the Perplexed. For him, the issue at stake is not atonement, but protection. The reason the man goes into exile in a city of refuge is to allow the relative of the victim, in other words, the blood redeemer, to cool. The exile stays there until the death of the high priest, because his death creates a mood of national mourning which dissolves the longing for revenge. Because, says Maimonides, it's a natural phenomenon that we find consolation in our misfortune when the same misfortune or a greater one befalls another person. Among us, no death causes of the high priest. In other words, for the Rambam, the death of the high priest created national mourning, which creates a mood in which private vengeance disappears, and hence is consistent with his view that exile was protection, not punishment. Either way that we look at it, the desire for revenge is basic. It exists in all societies. Montagues against the Capulets in Romeo and Juliet, the Corleones and Tartaglias in The Godfather, and they have no natural end. Wars of the clans were capable of destroying whole societies. The Torah, understanding that the desire for revenge is natural, tames it by translating it. It recognizes the pain, the loss, and the moral indignation of the family of the victim. That is the meaning of the phrase Goel Hadam, the blood redeemer, the figure who represents that instinct for revenge. The Torah legislates for people with all their passions, not for saints. It's a realistic code, not a utopian one. Yet the Torah inserts one vital element between the killer's family, namely the principle of justice. There must be no direct act of revenge. The killer must be protected until his case has been heard in the court of law. If found guilty, he must pay the price. If found innocent, he must be given refuge. This single act turns revenge into retribution, and that makes people often find it difficult to distinguish retribution from revenge, yet they are completely different concepts. Revenge is an I-thou relationship. You killed a member of my family, so I will kill you. It is intrinsically personal. Retribution, by contrast, is impersonal. It is no longer the Montagues against the Capulets, but both under the impartial rule of law. Indeed, the best definition of the society the Torah seeks, nomocracy, the rule of laws, not men. Retribution is the principled rejection of revenge. It says that we are not free to take the law into our own hands. Passion may not override the due process of law, for that is a sure route to anarchy and bloodshed. Wrong must be punished, but only after it has been established by a fair trial, and only on behalf not just in bringing Nazi war criminals to trial. He called his biography Justice, Not Vengeance. And the city of refuge was part of this process by which vengeance was subordinated to and replaced by retributive justice. This is not just ancient history. Almost as soon as the Berlin Wall fell and the Cold War came to an end in 1989, brutal ethnic war came to the former Yugoslavia, first in Bosnia, then in and many other parts of the world. Michael Ignatieff, in his book The Warrior's Honor, wondered how these regions descended so rapidly into chaos, and this was his conclusion. The chief moral obstacle in the path of reconciliation, he wrote, revenge. Now, revenge is commonly regarded as a low and unworthy emotion, and because it's regarded as such, its deep moral hold on people is rarely understood. But revenge, morally considered, is a desire to keep faith with the dead, to honor them taking up their cause where they left off. Revenge keeps faith between the generations. The violence it engenders is a ritual form of respect for the community's dead. Therein lies its legitimacy. Reconciliation is difficult precisely because it must compete with the powerful alternative morality of violence. Political terror is tenacious because it is an ethical practice. It is a cult of the dead. A dire and absolute expression was Michael Ignatieff. So it is foolhardy to act as if the desire for revenge does not exist. It does. But given free rein, it will reduce societies to violence and bloodshed without end. The only alternative is to channel it through trial and then either punishment or protection. That is what was introduced into civilization by the law of the cities of refuge, allowing retribution to take the place of revenge and justice the place of retaliation.
Wow. Okay. Super cool stuff. In the sixth Aliyah, each tribe to divide his tribe's portion of land between the tribal members. We are commanded to provide the Levium with 48 cities in which they could 6 cities of refuge which would be designated. Along with these cities, the Levites were given expanses surrounding the city for their cattle. In the seventh and last Aliyah, the Jews are commanded to designate 6 cities of refuge. These cities refuge to a person who inadvertently kills another. The murderer must remain in the city of refuge, the Ir HaMiklat, until the death of the serving high priest. enjoined not to take blood money from a murderer, intentional or unintentional, who wishes to lighten his sentence. And last week we were instructed to give the Tzlafchad his portion in the land of Israel. The elders of Tzlafchad's tribe now protested that would cause the grandchildren, who could possibly be of another, their mother's properties, possibly transferring the land